Hi guys, so we know that Great Britain left the single market and the customs union and became a third country at the beginning of the year. Now, of course, many businesses based in Great Britain are suffering the consequences. Those who are trying to export into their main market, the European Union, are struggling at the moment. Now, the response from Boris Johnson's administration at the beginning was basically just to ignore the problem and hope it went away, and it didn't. And of course, many businesses have been putting increasing pressure on the government to respond to help these businesses out. So the response from Boris Johnson's administration was basically threefold. The first was to advise companies to basically up sticks and move some of their operation into the EU. Now, of course, this is not much of a Brexit dividend because it's actually helping communities in Europe to the detriment of communities in the UK. Jobs are being moved overseas in a sense. Now, the second response from the British government was to advise businesses just to sell within the domestic market, but that isn't very good for exporters. The third option, of course, was to export outside the EU, so to expand into new markets. So you would imagine that's going pretty well. Liz Truss, the International Trade Secretary, was advised to start rolling over some trade deals and to start writing some new ones. And recently, this is from the 22nd of March this year, it says there was a deal announced with Canada. I just want to read something from this article, and I will leave a link in the description. It says here, trade between the UK and Canada is worth about £22.4 billion each year, according to the latest official estimates. The ratified trade deal is expected to save an estimated £42 million trade burden on UK exports to Canada, including, though eventual, zero tariffs on cars, beef, fish, chocolate bars, and soft drinks. Quite a limited supply here of goods that will be reduced to zero tariffs. Now, some goods are already at zero tariff, but it's not a big number here. It goes on to say, meanwhile, British consumers will continue to benefit from zero tariffs on Canadian maple syrup, biscuits, and salmon. So what's the problem here? Well, the problem is an old story has jumped up once again. This is Cheshire Cheese's company. Now, Cheshire Cheese was in the news recently where they were trying to export their cheese into the EU and they were suffering the consequences of the UK being a third country. Simon Spurrell, who's a co-founder of Cheshire Cheese, wrote this tweet and he said, "So much for the UK government's advice to look to emerging markets instead of the EU. Cheshire Cheese customer spent £33. DHL added £26.70. Customer had a demand for duty of $150.63 for cheese and biscuits. That's an extra cost of £112.78 and another no deal country crossed off our list." So, and he includes an email that he received from DHL. So in a way, yes, the UK is working out a trade deal, but a trade deal is only as good as what it contains. And we also have to remember that Boris Johnson's government has advised Parliament against actually scrutinizing these trade deals. So they actually passed a bill in Parliament stopping Parliament from scrutinizing these trade deals. So the government at the beginning ignored these problems. They told companies like Cheshire Cheese to set up in the EU or supply the UK market. And then finally they told them, why don't you sell to Canada? And this is the consequence. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?